What's up, Warrior Dad Nation? Timothy, John Hall, Haynes, TJ coming at you here, head coach and founder of Warrior Dad. Today's topic is addressing a comment and a question that I keep getting about calories in versus calories out, this old paradigm. Is this really all there is to dieting? Calories in versus calories out? And the big question is this: how do dads like us lose our body fat, get into the best shape of our lives, and set a good example for our kids in a way that doesn't require impossible to maintain fad diets, doesn't get us injured, and is easily sustainable long term? That is the question, and Warrior Dad Nation will give you the answers. Okay, welcome back. Now, as I mentioned before, I keep getting comments and questions about this, and I'm not at the gym, so you get to see me in all my glory with my bald spot and no hat on and all that fun stuff. Hope you guys are doing great. I want to address this question and this comments that I've been getting, because I get this all the time. Well, when it comes to diet, isn't it all just about calories in versus calories out? And in the old paradigm, yes. And that was a paradigm that I lived in myself forever, and that's why on all these diets, all these extreme restrictive diets, and all these fad diets, keto diets, these diets, that diet, and the majority of diets are revolving around high restriction. They're revolving around calories in versus calories out, and things like that. Before I made these breakthroughs, I was too stuck in the trap of trying the paleo diet, trying the keto diet, trying vegetarianism, trying veganism. I even tried being a vegan for a while, just desperately trying something that could help my metabolism, because I'm not some genetically gifted specimen. You know, I'm just like you guys. I was an athlete when I was younger, ex-Navy SEALs trainee, competitive triathlete, and even getting to those places, I was an underdog to get to those places because I was not genetically gifted. I had to overcome a lot of obstacles and physical ailments and asthma, and I was born with some endocrine system and metabolism issues that got worse as I got older. And I overcame those when I was younger, and then in my mid-20s, a boating accident, car accident, I got injured. 2 years in a row, I got in a boating accident, fractured my femur 1 year, and damaged my hip. Car accident the year after that, damaged that same hip again, and then got into kiteboarding and some other sports later on, where I started stacking up even more injuries. My metabolism situation got even worse. So I historically had a horrible metabolism. I was yo-yo dieting all through my late 20s and 30s and 40s. I'm 50 now, somewhere 69 if anybody can relate. And so I'm not gonna go into the whole story, but I ended up, even with a background in sports medicine and exercise physiology and training, personal training, and all of my accolades, it was a long time ago, because I'm 50. So all of my training was from the 80s and early 90s, and then took a totally different career path and got into a desk job and an office job and into a totally different industry. And next thing you know, I'm the guy, overweight, struggling with yo-yo diets, trying everything under the sun, and then dealing with the endocrine systems that added this other extra layer of complexity on top of it, making it even harder for me to go on normal diets and calories in versus calories out diets and restrictive diets and diets where I was trying to live out of Tupperwares, eating chicken and broccoli and rice all the time. And I mean, you name it, I've tried the diet. And then on top of it, then when I got older and I finally was like drawing a line in the sand and said, how did I become like this? I'm not supposed to be this guy. I used to be a superstar. I used to be an athlete. Yes, I had to overcome a lot of odds to get there because I wasn't genetically gifted. But man, I did some amazing things when I was younger. Now I can't, and I used to just stare at these mountains when I would drop off my daughters at high school, because their high school is right near these running trails that used to be some of my favorite running trails, where they go up these big hills and they go across these mountaintops, and they're just gorgeous. And I just look at those just longing to be able to run up them again, but I had sort of resigned and given up to the fact that it's just not in the cards for me. There's just no way. Between my asthma and my injuries, and then let alone my giant belly at 30% body fat, and I ranged from anywhere from 50 to 60 pounds overweight on average. Occasionally I'd drop it down a little bit, only on some crazy restrictive diet, if you can't relate, and then only to I couldn't maintain that diet, a month in, 2 months in. Sometimes I'd hang in there for 3, 4, 5 months at the best, and then I'd gain it all back and then some, and then even more. So when I finally drew a line in the sand and I wanted to change my life, I said, you know what, I'm diving back into this, and there's a longer story behind that, but I tried everything. And then I started hiring trainers. I thought, well, a lot has changed since I was back in that field, and the exercise physiology and sports medicine, personal training and all that. So let me hire a trainer. Let me digress for a quick second. Before I hired the trainer first, I tried, Get Lean in 12. I started buying online programs, thinking those are all these Get Fit Quick schemes. And then I tried P90X, but that injured me. Then I tried my girlfriend's or my wife's Insanity DVDs. Those got me more injured because there's such high impact style workouts, this HIIT training and these jumping up and down and doing burpees and jumping around and doing lumberjacks where you're in a push-up position and running back and forth through your legs, but that would kill my old Achilles injury. And so everything that I kept trying, I had some other obstacle that I had to overcome, and I would just get more and more injured. And I'd go on some crazy fad diet or a juice cleanse or a vegan diet or whatever diet du jour, and they were always just temporary. And then I even said, okay, well, maybe it's all this online stuff. So let me go hire a trainer. So then I went and hired a trainer, and that was costing me a fortune. I have a copy of the contract right over here, but I'm not gonna go into all that right now. I'm gonna do a more detailed webinar on that at another time, and I'll talk about that towards the end. Because literally that was $1,429 a month, and that wasn't even getting sessions every day or anything. That was just like, 2 sessions a week? It was crazy expensive. And then I found that was so limited. There's all these shortcomings to that. I was lucky enough to find a really good trainer that actually had a degree. He wasn't just a certified personal trainer, because the certified personal trainers that I tried, I had more knowledge than them. So that wasn't the solution. And all they could show me was basic exercises. But if you know anything, really changing your physique and changing your fitness level and changing your health and changing what your body looks like is about, some people say 90-10. I would say let's be generous and say 80-20. It's 20% exercise, 80% diet, and 100% knowledge. And then if you throw injuries and stuff in there that you're trying to overcome, then it messes up the whole equation even more. So what I found though is, as nice as even the best personal trainer that I finally found, and this guy was really good, super talented, to the point where we built such a great relationship that he wants to come work for Warrior Dad now, but I digress. Let me just continue on with what I'm sharing. So even he said, I'm restricted because all I can show you is the basic exercises. I can show you how to use the machines in the gym. I can teach you some basic exercises. I can give you handwritten workouts, and that's all I would get. I would get some handwritten workouts. And then when I got the workout, on the days when he's not there, I'm looking at the workouts like, shoot, how do I do that one again? Or what's the form on that? Because when I do it the way that I was taught back in the late 80s, early 90s, it hurts my shoulder. So how can I do this chest exercise, for example? Chest was a big one. Chest and shoulders, I really had a hard time with those because of my injuries in my shoulder and so on and so forth. So I really struggled with those two items in particular, let alone the squats. I couldn't do squats. I couldn't do leg exercises, most of them. I could do hamstring curls, was the only thing I could do without hurting myself. And so I'd get these workouts, and he'd write out these workouts, just handwritten. There's no how-to videos showing me specific instructions and showing me the proper form. There's no way for me to, legally, you're not even supposed to text your trainer after hours. You're only supposed to meet with them in person for 50 minutes. And you're paying, even at a bulk discount, those were more. There's gyms now that offer, if you buy 12 sessions, you can get them for $50 a session for 50 minutes, so $10 a minute. or whatever, whatever that equals, or $10 an hour rather. But the problem is it's so limited on what they can actually show you. And so you're paying premium dollar, but you're only getting 20% of the results that you want. I found that then it was all about the diet. The exercise was one thing, and that was a whole piece that I still couldn't figure out because of my injuries and stuff, and I started making some progress there with the trainer. But I was limited on the progress I could make because he couldn't help me with my nutrition. Personal trainers are not certified to help you with your nutrition. So if you need a certified nutritionist, well, that's another $375 a month for only so many sessions. And then again, they're only taught super old school calories in versus calories out. And these highly restrictive, right now I gotta weigh my food and count my calories, and it just gets to be too much to handle. So I say all that because it does relate to the subject, but let me dive in here. And now I'm gonna go through these bullet points quick. And then I think what I'm gonna do, and what's been requested me by a couple of people, and even just last night by a warrior dad that was reaching out to me and we were having a conversation about this, I'm gonna put together a more detailed webinar that's gonna go more into the framework of the warrior dad system and how to change this paradigm. But I'm gonna go over some of the bullet points right now with you. So let's dive in. So if I'm a little blinky, I have seasonal allergies, and we're having unseasonably warm conditions in California, which concerns me. We need more rain, but it's like spring out there right now, and there's pollen everywhere, and my eyes are driving me nuts. If you're gonna relate, give me a hell yeah. So does any of this sound familiar? I mean, how many diets have you guys tried, right? So, but let's dive right in. So if this is the old paradigm, then what I did, and I'll make a long story short, basically, I said, even though I'm running my own business and I work full time and I've got 3 kids, I've got to solve this. I need to heal myself. I was 30% body fat over, I was averaging between 50 to 60 pounds overweight, depending upon, the week or the month. And I thought, I've got to solve this because one of my dreams is to walk my daughters down the aisle and to be there for my son. My son's the youngest, he's 9, so I want to be there for him as he gets older. I want to be able to play sports with him. I want to be able to run and play and bike and do things with him and not be so out of breath all the time and so gosh darn miserable and trying to hide it like, everything's fine. Meanwhile, I'm secretly bummed and out of breath and tired, and I'm ashamed of myself when I look in the mirror. I get out of the shower and I see myself in the mirror and then I don't feel good about the way I look. It affected my confidence, it affected my sales, it affected my confidence in the business world, and technically affected my relationship with my kids, and then it affects your relationship with your loved one too if you're in a relationship with somebody. To the point where you kind of want to shut the lights off, whereas when you look amazing, you kind of like, shoot, I don't mind lighting some candles, or I want to look amazing. When you can get out of the shower and you can be like, I may not be a model, but gosh, wow, I look and feel great, So that's a lot better feeling than the other, because I've lived that other just like a lot of you guys, and it's not fun, and I deal with warrior dads every day that are struggling with that, and it affects every part of our lives. So I thought, what if I dove back into my old passion? What if I dove back into not just anatomy, physiology, not just sports medicine, but blend physical therapy, dive into the nutrition of things, and break apart the nutrition. See, how can I shift this around so that I could not be on some highly restrictive diet and still lose the fat, get in great shape, be toned and fit, and look good without being on some crazy extreme thing, living in the gym 24 hours a day, like some of the programs I was on. I mean, I was in there for 2-3 hours a day. It's crazy. And now I can maintain, well, I'm gonna go more into that later, but I can maintain where I'm at without dieting, without extensive, long gym sessions, without living in the gym, without living out of a Tupperware eating chicken and broccoli all the time, or being on some crazy keto thing that's short-lived and that technically is gonna affect the way my body processes healthy carbs. So, and they're finding that it affects your endocrine system, and they're finding some negative effects on your endocrine system on all these extreme diets, including keto. So I thought, what if I could dive back into all this and dive back into the actual science of it and break it and flip things around on its head, so I could find a way that I could almost sort of stay fit, like make the transformation and then stay fit on autopilot. Now that was my goal, and I cracked the code. I did it. It's worked. And it's worked for me now for several years. Well, 1, 2, 3, at least 3 years. I'm not good at math in my head. But it's worked for over 3 years for me, and now it's working for other warrior dads that I've helped as well. And now it's working for other people in my family as well. And so, what are the things that you have to do? So just a couple of bullet points. Number one, how can I increase my metabolism? Because I need to increase my metabolism so that I'm not stuck on the calories in versus calories out. Because that means, so let's say my resting metabolic rate is, I'm just gonna pick a very round number. Let's just say 2,000. Well, it's not a very bright color, is it? Here, let me go with black, so it stands out better. That's not very bright yet either, is it? 2,000. So let's just say your resting metabolic rate is 2,000 calories. You burn 2,000 calories a day. That's probably a little bit high. It's probably more like 1,500. So, and let's say you have a slow metabolism that most of us do as we get older, especially over 40 and over 50. You know, I'm not the only one with that had a slow metabolism. All my friends that I know had slow metabolisms. There's the rare, you know, 1 or 2 that they can eat anything and they stay skinny. But that's not the norm for sure. Let me grab a little sip of water here. So let's say your resting metabolism, metabolic rate is 2,000 calories. So now, if that's all it is, now yeah, you're stuck on the calories in versus calories out. If you eat less than 2,000 calories a day, well, you're gonna lose weight. And if you eat more than 2,000 calories, well, you're gonna gain weight. 2,000 calories a day. So if I eat less than 2,000 calories, I'm losing weight, right? Well, you can only do that so long because then there's a balancing system, a dynamic equilibrium that your body always searches for. So then it starts to normalize and it gets used to, if you say you reduce that down to 1,800 calories, well, eventually your body adjusts to that and normalizes to that. And now its resting metabolic rate is essentially 1,800. So now if you want to lose more, then you got to go down to 1,700 and then down to 1,600, down to 1,500. It can be a never-ending arms race down to the bottom denominator, but then your body will always normalize and find a dynamic equilibrium and balance out at that new rate, and you'll plateau again. You may not gain weight, but now you're stuck eating only, you get to the point where you're only eating 1,300 calories a day. You're starving yourself. But now you're having negative health effects from that. It's not good for your tendons, your joints, your bones, and all these other side effects, your endocrine system. You can't sustain that long term. And then the minute you try to eat, even if it's healthy food, the minute you try to start eating more comfortable 2,000 or 2,500 calories a day, which is a lot more comfortable, 2,500 calories a day is a lot more comfortable. That's like a normal 2,500 to 3,000 calories for an active male is. Most of us eat way more than that. So if you're sitting here trying to always restrict, you can't sustain that. So then the trick is, how do we increase our metabolism so that our resting metabolic rate is 2,000 or higher? Well, put it this way. 5 pounds of muscle burns 250 calories a day. So if you put on 5 pounds of muscle, now your resting metabolic rate is going to be 2,250 calories a day. Now you're burning an extra 250 calories a day while you're resting. That's where the paradigm shift starts taking place. Now just think you have 10 pounds of muscle. Now you're burning an extra 500 calories a day without even trying. While you're resting, you're burning an extra 500 calories a day. I'm going to reveal something to you at the end, so stay tuned for the end of this video, because there's something important coming up. I'm gonna go more into this at the end. I've got a little bit of a reveal for you. I think you're gonna be shocked. So then the question is, okay, well, if this is true, which it is, it's scientific fact, and I'm also living proof, everything that I'm talking about, I've literally applied and lived myself. This is not just conjecture and theory. So then it boils down to what kind of strength and conditioning is going to allow me to put on muscle and burn fat at the same time. Can you do that? Yes, you can. You can do that. Is this making sense to you? That if you could put on 5-10 pounds of muscle, you can burn 250 to 500 calories more per day. And now if you're burning more calories per day, now you don't have to restrict your calories so much, right? Make sense? Okay, let's continue. So now if I can find a way to build muscle, build my strength, and build my conditioning where I'm healthier and fitter and my cardiovascular is stronger, my body's stronger. There's all these other side effects that happen from this as well. You start staving off arthritis, you stave off bone issues, because the number one issues, especially for men as we get older, is our joints start to fall apart, our ligaments and our tendons get more and more brittle and stiff. The muscles themselves start what they call sort of gluing together, so they get sort of stuck together like this. They don't flow like this anymore. Like when you're flexing your bicep, it doesn't stretch and flow, especially in men. It's very common. Our hamstrings, our calves, and our Achilles tendons get notoriously tight, where it's hard for us to touch our toes. We pull our Achilles tendon easily if we're trying to play softball, or God forbid, we try to play basketball when we're over 50. Good luck. Or soccer. I've got a friend that I've helped rehab him so he can play soccer again. Warrior Dad friend. And but then the thing is, so now if I want to put on strength and conditioning, I want to improve my, I want to build muscle, and I want to improve my cardiovascular health. So I have all these other health benefits from that. Well, how do I do that in a safe way? CrossFit, P90X, and all these other things, those are just going to promote breakdown and damage. So how can I do things in a way where I'm not going to get injured? That's one of the things that I had to design into the Warrior Dad system. So Warrior Dad system has a framework and a system that we've developed that can build muscle and burn fat and increase your cardiovascular health in a healthy, sustainable, long-term sustainable way. Not in a way that's going to be short-lived and fall apart and it's not sustainable long-term, and where you're not living in the gym 24/7. Which brings me to injury, which is what I started highlighting. So many of the programs out there cause injury. So Warrior Dad system is designed in a way to prevent injury, to help you recover from injury, and we have an entire protocol for injury prevention and injury recovery built into our system. And because it's all about longevity. How can we increase our metabolism, put on muscle, build our strength and our health conditioning, our cardiovascular health, be injury-free, and do it long-term so we can work out and stay fit and enjoy our lives all the way into our 80s and not be riddled with injuries, out of breath, overweight, sore knees, sore elbows, tendonitis, bad shoulder, all those horrible things that we constantly have to deal with as guys at our age, over 40 and over 50 and over 60. How can we do this all in a way so that in the end, we don't have to live under this old paradigm? We don't have to live calories in versus calories out. So with the Warrior Dad system, we've designed things in a way that you truly can change your metabolism. You can do all of the things here, and you can sustain it long term, and you can stay fit on autopilot. Now, I want to reveal one big thing to you, so here, hang tight. Now, I got a little surprise for you. I'm gonna bare my soul here and let you know that as an experiment, it's been about 13 months now, just over 13 months. January 19 of 2019 was the last time I was strict on my diet. I wanted to see, based on my system, after establishing a faster metabolism and accomplishing all these things for a couple of years, could I go off my diet and just live under some very loose parameters? So not a strict diet, it's definitely not highly restrictive. I could drink, I could have margaritas, I could eat out every night if I wanted to, I can have dessert occasionally. I put very loose guidelines. I mean, I wasn't gorging myself and eating McDonald's every day, let's not be ridiculous. But I didn't diet for an entire year, actually over a year now, it's over 13 months. 13 months and a few days. So I'm gonna reveal to you what I look like right now without dieting, and then One thing that I will tell you though is all I have to do, I'm not as shredded because I was all the way down to below 10%. So I'm not as shredded now as I was. When I say shredded, I mean my abs are not totally chiseled, because at one point, I mean, you can see pictures from last year on my Facebook page and whatnot. You can see ones where I'm totally cut. I'm not as cut, but the experiment worked. I was basically able to stay and maintain it. Sure, gain a tiny bit of percentage of body fat on a technical level, but visually I can still see my abs and everything. Well, let's just go ahead and show you. You ready? Okay. So I can still see my abs, and I haven't dieted. I haven't dieted in over a year. But what I did do is I put on about 20 pounds of muscle. So I'm burning an extra 1,000 calories a day on autopilot while I'm resting. So that allows me to do all kinds of things and have some fun and live a life and go on vacation and take my daughter to 3-day volleyball tournaments and go to the movies and have a little bit of popcorn and do all kinds of things without strict dieting and without gaining a bunch of weight. So I'm going to be doing a more detailed webinar soon on this, but I wanted to share this all with you and just be very transparent with how the system works and what's going on here at Warrior Dad and how this system is designed to completely shift this paradigm, and it's sustainable long term. And I used to not be able to do squats. Now I can do squats. I used to be able to not train my chest. Now I can train chest. All my injuries, I've worked through all of my injuries. I mean, shoulder injury, hip injury, knee injury, left Achilles, left strained calf, left strained hamstring, asthma, diabetic 1.5. I'm a weird blend of, they call me diabetic 1.5 is what my doctor labeled me, because I'm a weird blend of hypoglycemia and diabetes kind of mashed together. So, and even with that horrible and endocrine system issues and slow metabolism, so even with all that horrible mixture, in spite of all those ailments and all those obstacles, if you will, I'm still able to do all of this and still able to have changed my entire body. And not just change it temporarily for 3 months and then gain it all back, or 6 months and then gain it all back. It's been 3 years and an entire 13 months of not dieting. And I still have abs. They're not as chiseled. I mean, before you could see every cut. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I've got a trip to Mexico coming up, and then I'm gonna take a couple of months and tighten it up a little bit and then see what happens and see how quickly I can shred back down. So that way I can show you, once you get to the point where you can go on autopilot, let's say beach season is coming up, or lake season, like you want to go water skiing, boating, pool parties with your kids, all that stuff. You don't want to be the dad at the pool wearing the t-shirt over his fat body while he's in the pool like I used to. It's embarrassing, isn't it, guys? Come on, let's be honest. Now, if you want to get beach ready, all it takes, and I'm going to see how long it takes me once I get back from vacation. I want to see how long it takes me to get beach ready again, and I'm guessing it'll take me 30 days. I'll be pretty darn beach ready in 30 days, and I'm sure in 60 days I'll probably be about 10%. 60 to 90 days, I'll be about 10% body fat again or below. So stay tuned for that. And I have a webinar and more stuff coming up soon. And I'm Warrior Dad TJ. And if you can identify with what I've talked about and you want to learn more about this, hit me up on the Facebook page at Warrior Dad Nation. Instagram is Warrior Dad Nation as well. But the one place where it's easiest to reach me is on the Facebook page. Go to Warrior Dad Nation. You can message me from there. You can even comment down below, and we can reach out and we can have a coaching conversation. And if you want to learn how you can, if you're frustrated with how you're living and you've tried a bunch of diets, you have a gym membership and you go to the gym, you don't see the results that you want, and you want to make some kind of a change, but you're not sure how. Like I've got a warrior dad named Darren that's frustrated, and he's like, I'm going to the gym, but I'm just, I go to the gym 3 days a week and I do this and that, and then I do a little bit of cardio a couple other days a week, It's like, but I still kind of weigh the same. I take my shirt off, my belly's hanging over my belt. You know, I feel a little better because at least I'm doing something, but I'm not getting the results that I want. And I don't know what the heck to do with my diet. I've tried keto, I've tried this, and I've tried that. I'm like, I got you, bro. So I'm helping him change his body as well. And I can help you change your body. And whatever your circumstance is, it doesn't matter. Whatever obstacles you need to overcome, whatever health issues, you can tell I was stacked with health issues. And I'm not some genetic freak. I'm just a normal, regular guy that was overweight and fed up and sick and tired of being sick and tired. And if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you want to make a change, reach out to me and we can get you started. We've got a program coming up that I'm going to announce really soon because we're going to be launching the new Warrior Dad app so that all of this will be right in your phone. How-to videos, detailed how-to videos, detailed customized instructions just for you. It's not going to be just generic. There's going to be a more generic plan and there's going to be a plan in the future. There's going to be a generic plan and then there's going to be customizing and optimization that's available for you for nominal fees. So it's all going to be super affordable and you can use your existing gym. You don't need to go to the gym and hire a personal trainer and waste thousands of dollars on all that. You'll be able to go to the gym with your phone and have detailed customized instructions and how-to videos, changing the form and addressing your specific injuries and pain issues and sensitive points or tendonitis and things customized specifically for you and for whatever your particular needs are. And I'll be able to do that and customize those things for you. So that's coming out very soon. We're gonna be looking for my IT guy. First it was gonna be 10 people. I think we're gonna allow 20 people in. We can only handle so many people in this initial program. It's gonna be dirt cheap. We just need to cover the basic costs. I'm gonna volunteer all my time for free basically. And we just need to cover some of the basic administrative and online costs and stuff for all the thousands of dollars we're putting into building the app and all the tens of thousands of hours that we're putting into building it and all the expenses involved in that. So it's going to be extremely inexpensive, very affordable, but only this one time. And then once we help this initial group, then we're gonna have the app fully optimized and ready, and then we're gonna launch it to a wider audience. But for this initial group, I wanna get your testimonials. I want you guys to use it and say, ooh, I really like this, or I'd like to maybe even see this, and we can maybe even add some additional things that we didn't think of, if that's even possible, because we've thought of everything. And we're gonna keep adding more recipes. We're gonna address the nutrition, the exercise, injury prevention, everything you can think of is gonna be in there. Everything that I've talked about is gonna be in there. No other program out there does this. I've spent thousands of dollars, hiring and testing out other people's systems, and nobody does any of this. So, if you're ready, I'm gonna be accepting a few people for this pilot program. If you wanna get on the waiting list, message me on the Facebook page, or you can even email me at tim@warriordadfitness.com, and I'll put you on that waiting list, and then I'll send you a link to an application, and then a link to book an appointment to have a coaching call with me, and we can see if we're a good fit. Because once we open this up to the wider audience, then it's gonna be sold at the price that it deserves. It's still gonna be affordable. It's gonna be way more affordable than any of these other options out there, these personal trainers that charge you premium dollar, well over $1,000 a month for only 20% of the results. We're gonna give you 100% of what you need, actually 150% of what you need for a fraction of the cost. But that's gonna be coming up soon. But for now, we're gonna be looking for some people that wanna make a change and that wanna be a part of this pilot program. And so we're looking forward to talking to you, and you'll see announcements on the Facebook page about that. Hey, one more thing really quick, guys. I wanna point something out really quick. Besides the fact that this framework works, but I wanna let you know when I took my shirt off, and it's 12 noon right now, and I just shot that video just a few minutes ago. I'd already had a protein shake this morning, had a cheese omelet with avocado and potatoes, and another small snack right before I shot the video. So, am I on an empty stomach? Not at all. And now it's been even a few more minutes, I've even had even more food, and I still have abs. And that's on a full stomach. So, the system not only works for me, but it can work for anybody, because there's a framework, there's a way that all of this works together with the Warrior Dad system. I have a proprietary system, a proprietary framework that I can apply to anybody and get them amazing results where you don't have to live on highly restrictive diets. You can eat carbs, and literally I was kind of inspired to film this one little extra thing because I just got a text from my mom, and she's not feeling well because they've been trying to lose weight on keto. They don't live nearby, and they're doing their own thing. And so I'm gonna call her back right now and have a talk with her, and I'm gonna send her a copy of this video. I'm gonna go ahead and help them out and get them in my framework, get them on my system. And as we launch the new app, I'm gonna go ahead and get them on the app for free and help them, because they're suffering from headaches and a whole bunch of other issues. I don't wanna get into it, it's personal. But they're suffering from a bunch of issues. They lost 20, 30 pounds, and which a lot of these get fit quick schemes and lose weight quick schemes and shortcuts like keto, sure, they can get you some temporary results, but you cannot maintain them long term. For some people, and for many of us, when you try to go keto or paleo or Atkins or one of these types of highly restrictive, highly extreme diets, you just can't sustain it long term. And it's not even good for you to sustain it long term. I've got one little insight I'm gonna share with you. I personally have met and talked with one of the big gurus in the keto fitness industry that makes millions of dollars selling keto programs. And even he says that he carb cycles. So if you're really keto, shouldn't you be able to live that way full time? No, even he admitted he carb cycles because you can't stay like that full time. So why live on something that you can't do full time? On the Warrior Dad framework, on the Warrior Dad system, you can eat carbs. There's some loose parameters, and it's a very loose parametered, flexible diet that has some very simple principles to it. It's a very simple framework, and when you combine it with the rest of the framework of our system, you can get amazing results and not have to live on some highly restrictive diet that's impossible to maintain long term. And not to mention the long-term health benefits from my system as compared to these extreme systems. You can't sustain them long term. They're actually not good for your endocrine system and a whole host of other issues. There's a rare, individual here and there that can pull these things off, but you know what? That's what I previously thought. Then I found out by meeting this one particular person that I can't mention his name, that even he keto cycles. I mean, even he carb cycles, and he's the keto king. So, guys, I know these things, these get fit quick schemes and these get, lose weight quick schemes are, I know how attractive they seem, but you don't have to live that way. There is another way. My proprietary system allows you to eat carbs and not to have to be on some extreme crazy diet. If you are interested, don't forget, feel free to comment below. I cater to dads because that's my audience, that's me. I'm a dad, I'm a father of 3. I was a single father of 3, now I am in a relationship, not married yet. But I've been a single father of 3 for quite some time. And I've been in your shoes. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to try all these get fit quick schemes and go to the gym endlessly and not get the results that you want. I know how it feels, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can finally get the results that you actually really want, and you don't have to struggle for them. You can travel, you can make exceptions, you can be flexible and still maintain the amazing results and the fitness and everything, as I've revealed in this very revealing, very forthright video. So I'm just bearing my soul to you guys to let you know I'm a real dude, I'm a dad, I've been in your shoes, and the framework and the system that I've designed for Warrior Dad works. And that's why we're coming out with the new app, and we're gonna have that pilot group, and we're gonna be accepting applications for that. And then after that, then it's gonna be, the price is gonna go up because I can't keep giving away. I'm donating all my time for free, and we're talking hours and hours and hours of time that I'm donating for free Once we launch this new program, I'm going to be basically giving it away for free, minus just some basic costs to cover some basic administrative and online server fees and so on and so forth, that I just need to cover those base expenses. I'm donating all my time for free. So, but I'm only doing that. There's no catch. The only catch is that I just want to help you guys get the results, and then I would appreciate your referrals and your testimonials in exchange for giving you so much for so little. At any rate, enjoy your day. Comment down below. The best way to reach me though is to go to the Facebook page and message me. I check that the most. Especially I'm so busy right now launching all this and building all this and working full time on top of all this, because it's something that I'm so passionate about. And now that I've just literally moments ago, I was inspired to give you this extra message because I literally moments ago got a message from my mom, and my dad's not feeling well. They've been doing this keto diet. Now he's in the hospital and she's suffering from headaches. She feels like crap, and she can already tell that she had lost 30 pounds. Now she's already put 10 pounds back on and she feels horrible. So I'm gonna reach out to them right now after I get off this and see what I can do to help. And I'm gonna get them on the Warrior Dad system. I know it's a dad system, but I'm gonna make an exception for my family, that's for sure. Because I can help, if I can help and I can serve them and I can help them make the change that they need to improve their life, improve their health, and get them out of breath and sick and tired of being sick and tired, then I'll do whatever it takes. I know you do the same for your family. So you guys have a great day. I'll talk with you soon. Warrior Dad TJ, signing off.